It's Monday, and that is always spectacular because it means that I will stream, and it means also that some people will show up, and those that do are welcome, and those that watch this afterwards are of course also welcome. You can always contribute. I will just mention a few things, and it's if you post stuff in the chat that I disapprove of, I will let you know afterwards. And if you say, sure, I understand, and you don't do it again, no problem. But if we don't agree on that stuff, I will ban you. And that's just because I don't have the patience for that drama, and I don't think it's called for. I will try to be always understanding stuff if it comes to that, but also I will use the ban hammer should it come to that. But it might not be forever, so let me know if you have, any opinions or ideas. Well, it's good to see some of you guys already here, and I can tell you that I also happen to have a guest whom I think I can hear in the background a little bit. We'll see about that. But enough of that. It's Monday. It's somewhere in February, and we've soon been at this stuff for a year, which is cool. This aspect of it is cool. I hate the fact that we have to be here for a year, because I think we all deserve to be out there again, hanging out with people, playing music, listening to music, and just enjoying life slightly more. But since I have the guest already somewhere close here, I will bring him on. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is Berget. Hey, man.
Hi there. Hi there.
How are you?
See you. I'm fine. I'm just fine. I'm trying to do I was on the can actually. I was taking piss. So I just ran into the studio here now, and I thought I'd update my my Facebook for Man.Machine.Industry as well.
Yep, cool.
So that people know we are doing this.
Exactly, and I have to just remove spam, because it seems like more and more people are finding this stream, which is of course nice and fine, but it also means that there will be so much spam, but I see that as a compliment. They like what we do, and I also learn to do stuff like clearing the chat, like I just did.
Okay, right.
Yeah. But the thing is that I wanted to start this out with music, because you are a very fascinating musician in my world, because you do so much stuff, and I simply I cannot fathom how you are able to do all this different kind of music. But I will ask you about that soon. But I think if it's all right, I would like to start by showing people Man.Machine.Industry, because that's the stuff that's how I got to sort of know you, through that music. So I will play a song, and then we start conversating. Sounds like an idea?
Yep.
Cool. Let's see if I can pull this off.
Pull it off. Johan, har du mig?
I'm located in what used to be a beautiful park, but it's now burned to black ashes and grey dust. I'm standing in a pile of rubble on what used to be a monument representing peace and prosperity.
They do whatever they can to make you war, to kill for the Lord of command. Delivered in blood, divinity, the soul of the weak and the poor. Concept and faith, guns and God, the masses controlled by the wolves. Terror, war, crime, murder, hate, chaos. Rise at the sound of violence, forced by the hand that rule us. This time, take a stand and fight. March in a peace for our sake, severing the head from the snake. This time, take to arms and fight. Fight, fight,
I have a clear view over the downtown area from up here, or what people used to call Paradise City, but now referred to as Doomsday City, capital of chaos. You can see people throwing homemade bombs, setting fires at cars and stores. The flames are spreading like wildfire and will soon reach the point of no return.
Rise at the sound of violence, forced by the hand that rule us. This time, take a stand and fight. March in a peace for our sake, severing the head from the snake. This time, take to arms and fight. Fight, at the sound of violence.
Yeah, like people are saying in the chat, it's fucking good. They got it right.
Yeah, thanks.
So, tell me a little bit about, I mean, where did it all start for you, music-wise? I mean, it's taken you a long time to come to where you are now, obviously, but you started somewhere. How did it all start? Because I know about you, and I've been following your stuff, and I'm sure we said hello at some point, but we don't really hang out, not yet.
Not yet.
So tell me a little bit, how did you fall into the trap of music?
Well, I'm quite old. I'm 52 years old, so
You're a little bit older than me.
yeah. But I grew up on the countryside, and my aunt married a guy called Åke Larsén, who played the drums in a band called Rockfolket, actually.
Yep.
So I started out playing drums because he played drums when I was a kid. This must have been like 76, 77, something like that. And by the late 70s, I discovered Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, AC/DC and all that stuff. And that's how it started. And I played drums most of my upbringing. I was on the countryside, no neighbors, no friends. So the only thing to do was ride a bike and build cabins in the woods and hang out with animals and play drums. So
At least
that's
you
how
got a drum kit at some point. But I mean, this is
Yeah.
also it's so much coincidences. If you know a person who plays an instrument, you can learn from
Yeah.
him, and you can use some of the gear and stuff.
Yeah, it came very naturally for me actually. I had some rhythm in me. I think it was no problem to play along with the rock and roll songs back then. You know, Elvis Presley, Jerry Williams, and stuff like that. I found it right away. And then when I discovered heavy metal and hard rock, back then it was a little bit more aggressive, and I fell in love with it right away. This was exciting, you know.
Yeah.
And then
I have the same background in a way. I mean, I never had to work to love the music. It came, just it spoke to me. And for me it was like Early Accept, Mötley Crüe, or Wasp. This is open doors that it just felt natural. I didn't have to pretend to like it. I just understood. It spoke to me. But you're not just playing drums, obviously. I mean, you're a vocalist, you're a guitarist, composer. I mean, and I mean, for me, I've been following you sort of from a distance, because you're one of these people who get shit done. You really,
Yes.
I mean, you get your hands dirty and you do shit. You're not sitting there updating and complaining on Facebook that nothing, blah blah
No.
blah. I never see that. You just do stuff. And how did that happen? When did you start playing music yourself, and which was your first band?
Well, I started writing music as soon as I learned to play guitar somewhat. And it was I started playing on my band members' guitars when I rehearsed back in the 80s. But then I discovered I always had ideas as a drummer how the music should be, and stuff like that. But I couldn't perform it and show them. I just had to na 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 na.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. But as soon as I learned to play guitar, I started to write my own songs. I started playing guitar maybe around 84, 85 or something like that. And it was, first of all, I learned AC/DC. Rhythm was my thing, AC/DC songs and Black Sabbath songs, of course, and Judas Priest stuff. And from there, I fell in love with thrash metal as soon as the first Metallica album reached Sweden. Before that, it was Venom, but it wasn't the same, and from that moment, when I heard those guitars on the Metal Militia, that was okay. I gotta learn to play the guitar more properly,
Yeah.
So that was a kickoff for the guitars.
Yeah. And I mean, you're like a hard rock guy, but you're oriented towards thrash, and I mean this piece we just heard. I mean, it's a thrashy piece, but it's also it's hard rock. It's I mean, there are a lot of elements in what is Man-Machine-Industry today. And somebody wrote here in the chat that if you take the early MMI to today, there's a lot of progression.
Very much. The first MMI album was a synth album, EBM hardcore synth.
Yeah. I saw that. I haven't heard it actually.
No, and today's MMI is more thrash metal with what should I say? I don't want to say melodic thrash metal, because I hate when people call everything melodic death metal and I mean, today you got melodic hard rock, melodic rock. Can you?
Yeah.
when were ever rock not melodic? You know,
Yeah.
it's so stupid. But anyway, the music progressed from synths and you know, just programming and stuff, and very much distortion, early Ministry, Nine Inch Nails stuff, to what it is today, and it's more thrash metal. And that is because I love playing guitar more and more. So I play more often, and I don't like to program stuff and noise and industrial stuff any longer. So I just follow my heart, what I want to do, you know, with music. I mean, in 20 years, if Man.Machine.Industry is still around, maybe we'll sound like ZZ Top. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
Who knows?
follow my heart, and the music gets to take me wherever it goes. You know?
And I think this is true for most of us that do music, is that we actually become better at our shit, and that is why we evolve. Because I mean, we actually learn stuff we couldn't do 5 years ago that we can do today, and of course it will influence our music. And sometimes, in the beginning, we were trying to hide how bad we were by making things sound so complex as possible. Because it really takes skill to play simple shit. That's harder than to play, you know, multi-layered, you know, 5 guitar sound barriers. That's pretty easy, actually.
It's definitely more challenging to write easygoing songs that will stay. That'll stay with you a long time.
I mean, Smoke on the Water is hard to write. It's hard to write that song and say, yeah, this is perfect. This is how it's going to be. It's easier to do another melody layer, and then you put some. I mean, just to take something and cook it down to the smallest ingredients and say, you know, Paranoid. This is perfect, because it's so much easier for us to just we put some more shit in there so people become impressed. And to really cook it down, that's like the last Dissection album it sounds more simple, but it's actually harder to write than the previous stuff. This is just how it evolves, I guess. It's good to see that people are writing, and I just want to let people know, if you have questions for Berget, you can just write them, and I will try to see them. Otherwise, you will just, you know, have to follow along as we, you know, whatever we get into. But I agree with the melodic stuff. And I mean, I come from a very strange place. I play melodic black metal, which is, you know, I mean, for fuck's sake. And we are not black metal. I try to explain that to people that it's like black and death metal. I mean, we're not tough enough to be black metal. But, you know, it's melodic. I agree. If it's not melodic at all, it's very hard to find music without any melody, actually.
One of the things I always discuss is after thrash metal came about, and after that it was the birth of death metal, and along with black metal in the same kind of style, but then later on, I mean people created death metal to avoid the melodies that thrash metal had.
In a way, yes.
And then someone invents melodic death metal, and I just we created death metal to avoid those happy melodies that can be in thrash metal, and then came melodic death metal, and I just wait a minute, how far is this going?
It's always going to keep on going, and I mean all we can hope for is that, you know, the kids will always push the boundaries. They will do shit we couldn't even imagine, and then we know everything is as it should be. Because if they, you know, if I would appreciate all the music that came out, something is wrong. Because every generation needs to do shit differently, and So I hope it will be, but I want more extreme music. I think the extreme music right now is a little bit. We need more of it. We need some shit we haven't heard before. Currently, it's a lot of recycling, but we'll see where it's going. I guess for you, as everybody else, you've been sort of isolated during this fucking last year, I suppose. But have you been doing music, or how have you been passing time?
It's been great. No, I mean, I love playing live, but the problem for me, at least, I think, when you're in a writing mode or in a writing zone and you got the inspiration, it's fucking impossible when you always get disrupted by we have to rehearse, we have to go out to play this weekend or do a short tour or stuff like that, and then you come home and you have to find that bubble, that creative bubble again to start writing, and it just takes so much more time to create something, and I love to create. That's my main goal. I love to sit in the studio and watch all the songs come to life, you know. So for me, this COVID thing has been good in a bad way. Bad in a good way, good in a bad way.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, it has really forced us all to find new ways. I mean, we can't just, keep going as we used to. So we have to, find ways to be creative or at least pass time. I mean, I've been doing these streams. I would never have done it, but now I've been talking to a lot of people that I should have been talking to a long time ago, like you. I'm happy to have you here, and like I said, I've been following you from a distance, sort of, because you're one of these creative guys. Because you're not just writing the music. I mean, you do videos as well.
Music videos.
Tell me a little bit about it, because you worked with the previous one we saw.
Yeah. I did the green screen background for that video, and filmed those sequences. But the video in its whole is made by a friend of mine, Jhonny
Yep.
But I think I started making music videos because I didn't know much. I didn't know anyone who made videos. I mean, my first video I did around 2007 or something like that. It was way before Facebook connecting people with each other and stuff like that. So I'll try this. And I got my hands on a Premiere program, and I just tried it, and well, this works. So I continued making videos for my bands, mostly.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, this is how we learn a lot of shit. If you do music, I mean, if we were, in nice bands, were signed in 1982, I'm sure they would send in a video producer. I interviewed a guy, Paris, who did videos for Typo Negative, Biohazard, all these bands, and they always had, huge budgets. I mean, they had a crew. He was a director, but they had everything. These days we don't get that shit. You got to do it yourself, or it doesn't get done at all. It's that's up to you. Or you can take your hard-earned money and hope that somebody will make you a cheap video. That's okay. And the same goes with marketing, PR, everything. We got to do everything today because there are no budgets for it anymore.
And have a day job.
And have a day job, and not go insane, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But you channel most of your stuff through KMP, your Killing Machine Productions company, right?
It's my small music of empire, where I gather all my projects. Hey, I heard that.
Exactly. Which projects are currently happening? Just to give people a little bit of an overview, because after this talk, we're gonna have to post a million links because you do so much stuff. But
Well, Man.Machine.Industry is always my priority number one. It's the one I think. Well, it's the most famous one. The other, I got other projects as well. Rainsaw, for example, where we play thrash metal, old school Bay Area style of thrash metal, and that stuff came about a few years ago together with Magnus Söderman and Fredrik Weileby, whom I asked if they want to do this project with me, you know. And then I also play covers in cover bands as well.
Yeah, you do so much. We have to check out Rainsaw, and we're also gonna check out one of your cover tunes, because I mean and I think that the cover tune is basically, that's back to where it all started for you, I think. It's full circle in a way.
Yeah, it's great. It's fucking awesome, actually. I mean, there's no what do you say? It's no competition or anything. We just do it for the hell of it, because it's so fun. And the funny thing about the cover project is I played together with a guy that I started playing together with back in 1982, 83.
That's
and
pretty cool.
We found each other now, just a few years ago, because we've been apart for a long time, you know. And just let's do some covers for fun, and it was so great. It still rocks.
And I think most of us, when you start writing stuff, but it's when you start to really nail down covers, that's when you really learn your instrument, I think, because you really it's hard work doing justice to to songs that you know how they should be. And it's really it helps you grow as a musician a lot.
Yeah, and have fun doing it, you know. Take away all those I must be great at this. I must be awesome. This album must be the best one. This video must be the coolest. Everything. You just do music because it's fun. Play rock and roll and have fun. Yeah. And that's for an old man. That is the teenage spirit coming back.
Yeah, I think we lose the fun somewhere where we start to chase.
Take it too seriously.
Yeah, we start to chase success, and I see this all the time. People are looking at how many Spotify streams they have, and this is killing everything that's good with music, because I think if it's the right people that listen, it doesn't matter if there are 100 people or if there are 50. I mean, you're still making music that matters, but still, this is so hard to keep the focus at, because we start to measure ourselves. Oh well, Amon Amarth has this many streams, or an Opeth has this many streams, and Marilyn Manson, can't talk about him today, has this many streams, and it ruins why we do it in the first place, because you didn't pick up the drumsticks to measure streams. You pick up drumsticks because you wanted to play drums, because you wanted to feel that sound. Yeah. And I think this is where we need sometimes to just go back to why is this important, and the business aspect is dangerous, I think, because it can kill the joy.
Absolutely.
We had some echo on you. I see this in the chat, but it was because I fucked it up. I had like a double input. It's 5 kronor production, and then you know, you get everything. But
you get echo as well.
yeah, exactly. It's included in this price. But we will now have a look at Rainsaw. So hopefully I will not fuck it up too much. But we can't talk during the song because then it hurt. Yeah, no. Like I said.
And this video is a production of mine.
That's cool. Let's see if I can make it roll. Let's see if I can stop the thingies. So another quite cool example of your creativity, I have to say. It's I mean, you wrote it, or at least, I mean, you've been part of writing, part of producing it, right?
Yeah, I produced that album.
Yeah. And
Mixed it as well.
yeah, mixed that and did the video. I mean,
Yeah.
Hats off, great work. And I'm sure you're bathing in money right now.
Yeah. Spotify.
Yeah,
Streaming.
Yeah, I know the feeling. It's terrible. And I didn't mention this to you, but when I do, I want to play videos like this, and sometimes Facebook will cut you off when you do it, but that's okay, because I'm also on YouTube and on Twitch. But if somebody, got their stream interrupted, that can happen. But it's okay, because I think we need to still push the music we like, and we this is the only way we can reach out, is me telling people about your music and so on. And this is why the metal community will always be stronger than the other communities, because we have this word of mouth. We will always try to push our stuff to friends, and this is why we don't need the same PR machinery as some other genres do, because people will always push the music for us if they like it.
I think metalheads love it too much. I mean, for me, I don't do this because fame and fortune, whatever. I mean, when I go to see a show, I'm just as happy standing front row, headbanging to Saxon, like I am standing on stage. It doesn't matter to me, really.
No.
But I can play music, and I love writing, so that's why I do it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I see myself as like 95% metal fan and 5% musician on a good day.
Same here.
So if somebody, said either you can never go to concerts anymore, or you can only play there, or you have to go as a fan, then I'd stop playing. I go as a fan, because I need to see this music, and that's how it started for me. I was standing in front of the mixing console when I was 15, and I fucking loved it, and that's more important to me than being on the stage even.
Same for me, actually.
But somebody has to sometimes be on the stage, and sometimes that's you or me, and that's okay.
I mean, it's fun. It's great fun. I mean, I love both very much, so it doesn't matter to me. But I do other stuff as well. I mean, I work as a guitar tech as well. Going on tours and stuff, and that I have the same joy doing that as well.
And you've been out with Eclipse, right?
Yeah, I'm guitar tech and drum tech for Eclipse. I've been doing that for about 1.5 years or something. So it's fun.
It is fun. I mean, it's going to gigs and actually get paid.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't have to not cost, but it's always stressful to play, right?
It is.
You have to pack down your shit and get over to the merch booth and sign stuff, and you stress over there. All right, when the adrenaline is still pumping, and you just want to relax and have a shower. But as a crew, you just after the gig, you're standing there, twirling the cables, just taking it easy, work in an easy tempo, for a few hours, and then you go to sleep. It's nice.
It's very nice. And actually, and also, I mean, if it's a failed show, not a big deal for you when you're the tech. I mean, as long as you.
Fault.
No, exactly, not my fault. I changed the batteries. I fixed, whatever. Yeah. But it also, that's a lot of learning to see bigger bands play, and how that, how they fix things. You learn a lot from being in that environment.
Absolutely.
Um,
I have the pleasure to work with guys I really look up to as musicians. So it's just a learning experience for me as well, as you say.
We got a question here. Question: even though you say you don't like it, maybe there is at least one band which deserves to be more famous. This is a question from Rika, Moscow.
I don't understand the question.
Let's see. Even though you say you don't like it, but maybe there is at least one band which deserves to be more famous.
If I don't like another band, maybe he means.
Yeah.
But they deserves to be famous. Like for instance, I guess Anvil isn't the best band in the world, but they deserved to be famous, I thought. Well, after seeing that documentary.
Yeah, I agree. And I tried, I mean, this is gonna sound, I mean, I love the guys. I mean, I love the passion, but there is a reason why they never became as big as Scorpions and the other bands they were playing with. They didn't write so good songs. I mean, they wrote a handful of songs that are decent, but...
Yeah. Maybe 10 good songs on all their albums.
Yeah, like 14 albums. And I after seeing the documentary, because I really, I was fucking feeling it, because they are the soul of the metal people, the nicest guys. Yeah, but fuck, I bought some albums. I really tried to get into it, but no, it didn't really work for me. But they deserve it more than anyone.
They do. Yeah.
They've been working hard to get where they are.
Shall we talk about those who doesn't deserve it now? No.
What bands do you guys consider overrated? Alex is wondering. Well, Alex, I don't want to talk about that. Actually, I don't want to bash bands. To be honest, I can bash huge bands, but I could never bash bands, from Stockholm area. I just can't do it because everybody's working so fucking hard. Some have more something I love and others don't, but no, I don't want to put anyone down, actually.
No.
Neither do
I.
I'm not in a position to do it either. But I can say I don't think U2 has made any really good songs since the late 80s, but Bono is not going to wake up at night and say, what the fuck did he say? That important guy from Sweden, he doesn't love our music? What the fuck? Discotheque is a strong song. No, it ain't, Bono. It's shit. No, and bands on our level, I can't do it. I can't. Everybody, if you work hard and you get some success,
fine.
Yeah, enjoy it. Give me some money if pass me on the street. You can always, yeah. And I think the metal community, everybody has an opinion, but mainly. You get into arguments whether Saxon or Judas Priest are the best, and those are successful bands. So then it's okay.
Yeah.
You can bash successful bands, but
yeah, absolutely. I agree.
But the thing is that I think as long as you're honest, and I think Anvil is a good example. They're honest. They really do their thing. It's just not my thing. But whatever success, I can have a harder time if you start. If you start a band for only commercial reasons, but I don't think you can be successful if you're not honest. I think it will always show. If your music is fabricated, it will still...
Yeah, the career will be very short.
Normally, yes. Yeah. Normally, yes.
Most of the bands that make a big career just... make music just to make a career, they don't last so long. So
no, normally they don't, and it's so fucking hard to it's hard enough when you do everything right and still you need timing and, you know, success is never granted. But also success is what we decided is, I was so, not angry, I'm too old to be angry. I was like, ugh. I got a question, I think it was from Legacy magazine. Why is not Netherbird more successful?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I don't know. I don't decide. I think we're successful enough. I'm happy. People enjoy our music. No, we're not Metallica big or Vetain big, but I mean that requires so much things. I don't know.
One of the worst question is like, so how is it going with your music? Are you close to a breakthrough? And I just, well, I make music. I feel good about it. And that is my success.
That, I mean, yes. And I mean, we can have this discussion. You and me, we talk about something we love. And some people, crazy enough, are even joining our conversation here, asking us questions. What more can you ask for? I mean, this is, I mean, my first band, I was mimicking, pretending to play guitars to Twisted Sister. That was my first band. And if I, you know, 40 plus years later would actually be playing music that people give a fuck about, that's success to me. And so success is debatable. Then we have questions here. Metallica versus Megadeth. For me, it's always going to be Metallica because of the first 4 albums. But you might, yeah, exactly. I knew you are a Megadeth guy.
I'm a Megadeth guy. Ever since their debut, what is it, 85 or something? 86, 85. 85. I mean, I loved Metallica when it came out. I bought the album right away, and but then the raw "Killing Is My Business" came out, and I just fell in love with the technical stuff.
Exactly.
Of them, but yet he has. I think Dave Mustaine has something. He combines aggressive stuff with lots of melody, and yet it sounds so cool and aggressive somehow. I don't know. But
I think
I'm Megadeth.
Well, it's the wrong answer, but I accept it. Actually, it's the cool answer because it's the underdog that still sells, you know, almost 20 million albums. So it's okay. For me, I think. I mean, I loved Megadeth up until 1990. That was the last, you know. I mean, for me, Hangar 18 is the fantastic song. Holy War, fantastic. I mean, fantastic music. But I still would have to go with Metallica. But neither of the band has really affected me in the last 25 years. But I went into black metal afterwards. So my loss, I guess. Then we have Slayer versus Creator. To me, that's very easy because only one of them plays hate metal, and that's Creator, which I love. I fucking love Extreme Aggressions. Fantastic.
I haven't followed Creator all the way, so I mean, I love the early stuff because as a kid you discovered it. I believe Extreme Aggression and Como Souls was 2 albums I listened a lot to. Yeah. But Slayer, I'm not so much into the what do you call it? Tvåtakt.
Two-stroke. Yeah.
Two-stroke. Yeah. I love to listen to it, especially see it live, because it's such an energy. Yeah. But listening to albums that just go for me, who likes rhythm, who loves groove and stuff, it doesn't do it quite for me. I love Helloweights. Helloweights is my favorite Slayer album.
For me, Seasons in the Abyss. I am, I'm the melodic guy. Seasons in the Abyss for me, perfect album. But I'm not. I mean, and I think it's okay to say I don't love everything Slayer made, because Slayer is like, they are gods. You can say whatever. They don't really. They look down from the skies like, yeah, whatever, dude. It's okay. To me, Creator then.
Yeah.
But
I'd go with Slayer.
yeah, I'd be okay with, if I have to, pick one. They still, both of them, have a huge catalog of good stuff. So, but I see, look at Coverdale. I love the old Whitesnake. Then he got blonde hair and had huge success. Yeah, well, I mean, Whitesnake is another, this type of almost unique sound. I mean, that is just, but Whitesnake is like, to me, such godlike musicianship. I mean, you can say, well, it's not very heavy, is it? No, it doesn't matter. It's soulful. It's good music. It's really cool.
I love the 70s stuff. All the way up to what was it, 1984 album. Was it?
I might have lost him earlier, actually, but yeah.
But the blues albums and the old stuff is fucking awesome, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, it's you take a band like Scorpions, there are so much stuff also, and I mean, and this is true almost for all of these big bands. They are extremely good musicians. They because you couldn't get a record contract in those days if you were not a fucking god at what you did, and so
there were no autotunes on that.
No, and you couldn't fucking copy and paste drums in Pro Tools. You had to fucking be good. You couldn't come to the studio and be hungover and because a bad take is a bad take then. So Merciless instead of Create. Well, Merciless is awesome.
Merciless is awesome. I was born and raised in Gnesta.
Oh, that's close enough.
Merciless was from Strängnäs, right?
Strängnäs, I think. Yeah.
So I had Merciless on that side and Mesro on that side.
Mesro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember them?
Yeah. Then came The Killing.
Yeah.
I bought that
Great
album when because it showed up in Nässjö, the town I went into to get into a big town. And I found it at Skivan, and I still have the album. It's a good fucking album. Good thrash.
Great thrash album. It's like the Bay Area thrash style.
Yeah. But also
lots of groove.
Yeah, and because we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. But you are a thrash man. What? Let's see. Where in Gnesta did you live, and did you go to Frejaskolan?
Yeah, I actually did.
Alex is wondering. I think Alex is like half our age, but she's into death metal.
Cool.
So Alex, are you also from Gnesta? That's weird. I had like an ex for a short while in Gnesta, but let's move on.
Yeah. It was a good time for me to grow up in Gnesta because. What do you say? Ungdomsgård?
Yeah, like the youth club.
Youth.
Yeah.
They had a very good music scene there. They had you could rehearse for free and everything like that at that time, and it was loads of kids playing music in that small town. So it was great.
It's fun, because I grew up close to Nässjö, and that was the similar case. We also had a lot of music there. I mean, and I think it was this prog city from the, this very, social democratic, a lot of culture and a lot of music. Back at Babies, Worm, and all these bands came from there, and really, influenced the climate a lot. So it matters where you grow up, because I mean. You need to find more musicians. It's hard to, be a musician all by yourself. You need a few more people.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Don't let that stop you. I mean, Man.Machine.Industry is actually it's a solo project, and I never let that thing stop me, because you can write your own music, you can record your own music. If you can't play drums, save some money, hire a session drummer, and do the recording, do an album, and
Sure
then when you have the finished album, then you look for people. Hey, I got a brand new album here. I need musicians to play 5 shows. I mean, don't let it stop you.
In these days, definitely. Things have changed, and it's so much better to be, interested in doing music today. Because when I grew up, there were 4 people in my village that liked thrash metal. We were 4, and so we started a thrash band called Toxic Breath, which were, we had big LA gear, basket shoes, and then we progressed into death metal. So that's another story. But we were 4 guys, and that's it. But if we were only been 2, it would have been hard in those days. Today, you can rehearse on fucking Zoom. You can collaborate in a way that we couldn't do then.
Yeah, and when you're young, you want that connection more than when you get older, I think.
Yeah, you need to drink beer together and discuss whether Saxon or Judas Priest is the ultimate band. I mean, you need that, and you discuss that every day until you realize it's Judas Priest. Well, but that's another story.
It's a trick question.
I know. It's hard. But you're a thrash guy, so some thrash bands that people might not know about. For me, Centrix is one of the bands I think people with Centrix. I think that's a band people should check up if you like thrash. Do you have some suggestions?
Absolutely. There's a band. I mean, most real thrashers knows this band, but Cyclone Temple did an amazing album back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
They only did 2 albums, I think, but the first one is just phenomenal. I don't recall the name. I got it on the shelf out there, but it's a great album. Cyclone Temple, great thrash metal album. Fucking awesome. Have you heard it?
No. I will have to do my homework, sir.
Yes, do it, because it's awesome. But Eccentrics, I know of them. We played it a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Or young. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still young.
They're still around. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did, or I do. And they've been also, they seem to be pretty cool guys. They were doing some collaboration with Decadence from Stockholm. So I know he did some guest vocals. So they seem to be still, interested in the underground, which is cool. Yeah. And people in the chat feel Hypnosia. Feel free to drop names that we should check out. I learn a lot from just, the chat. That's where the intelligence is in this stream. It's not me, definitely. So please let us know what we should check out. Do you have any suggestions? If you're younger than you and me, and some people are, and you're just getting started with your band, do you have any sort of advice?
Yeah, well, I thought about, you mentioned that we would talk about that a little bit. So I've seen a few Facebook comments on young bands that have quit, that writes something like, we won't continue any longer because we have given it everything and we are still not famous, kind of, And that's the wrong approach. You should not get into the game if you just want to be famous. Continue, find joy in writing music, because that's the main point of writing music, isn't it? Writing music, and do you release it yourself? Do something instead of sitting there and waiting for the next big label to pick you up or something like that.
The chances are the labels will never pick you up, especially not until you have proven yourself, and that is it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
And like I said today, you don't need a whole band. You can be two guys who love writing music. Do it yourself. Record the album yourself, and hire some guys that you need, a good bass player or drummer or something like that.
Yeah.
And then from there on, if the album, if people like the album when you release it, and you get shows, take the next step then.
Absolutely.
Do one step at a time, you know.
I also have some advice for younger bands. Is that first off, don't care about the statistics. Never compare yourself with Amon Amarth and these bands that, you know, have this huge success, because they were also small bands that took shit shows for many, many years before they got even close to where they are. And the first tour I did, and I think it's one of the best tours I did, I wrote to bands in various parts of Europe, and I just said that we are thinking about coming over. Could you guys play with us? Do you know a venue that would take us? And then that band had, you know, okay, it's a Swedish band coming, can we put on a show? And it's almost always possible. It's not going to be the Globe or fantastic, but it's going to be a venue, and it's going to be packed with people who are there to support their local friends, who all of a sudden has an international band visiting. So they will stay and see your band play. And that way, this band can have a show there with, you know, with something that attracts more people. And you will have people showing up because it's a local band playing and they have friends. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And trade shows. If you have friends in Moscow playing, fix a local gig for them in Sweden and help them to come over, let them crash at your place, and they can fix something similar in Moscow.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's not hard, actually.
No.
But if you want it all served on a gold platter, it's never gonna happen, because that's not how it ever happens. It's friends helping friends.
But you can also go the other way. I mean, I haven't done what you say. I haven't done those small clubs over in Europe and stuff like that. I chose to instead try to get a support tour.
That also is a way.
For a famous band. Sure, it costs loads of money.
It does.
Costs loads of, but I mean, stop smoking. Put your money in the music. No, I mean, stop wasting money and save it for this amazing tour. I mean, other family people save their money to go on vacation.
Yeah.
I save money to go on the tour. That's my vacation.
It's actually a pretty cheap vacation if you look on it that way. I mean, it costs you, and this is important for people to know, when you go to see a semi-big band and there are 2-3 bands playing before, they are the ones paying for the tour. You should support them. These guys are the ones that pay for the bus and the petrol, because the main the headliner is not paying. If they're lucky, they get paid. But the support bands pay to be there, so you should be there. You should support them. Buy a T-shirt if you like it. Even if you don't like it, at least stay and watch their set, because they are the ones making it all possible.
Yeah, exactly. So the tour supporters are more important for the headline band than people know, I think. So
yeah, Daniel says that vacation with the wife is not bad either. Well, you can bring the wife.
Someone has to sell T-shirts, right?
Exactly. And that's normally, if it's a support band and there's a girl working in the merch booth, she is a girlfriend of the band. That's just how it works.
Probably.
Yeah, she is. Or a good friend. But it's not that difficult, actually. And actually, if you are interested in doing a tour, ask promoters, because normally they will give you the chance, but you will have to pay for it, because that is how it works.
Yeah.
But
A very thing that is important for young bands to know, when you get that support slot, you have to act accordingly and know your place.
yeah,
If you come in like a rock star and a diva, or if you fuck up a sound check or anything for the headline band, then you can kiss your ass goodbye. You're not welcome under that promoter again.
no,
It's very important to show that you have work ethics. You work hard. You carry stuff. You help the main band to carry stuff and all that. It's very important, because if you don't, then we have no time for slackers.
No,
it's just bye.
It's certainly important to know. I spoke to one of the guys in Wasp, and he said, we only have basically we have two rules for our support bands. They should start playing exactly when they're supposed to, and they should be invisible the moment their stage time is over. Their shit just needs to be gone, because this is how it works. And if you can do that, they will like you, even if you're not the best band in the world, because you're at least you act, professionally, and you have respect for, and also be respectful not only to the band but to the crew. They have met so many bands before you, and they will meet so many bands after you. Be respectful, because the rock stardom, nobody buys into that.
No.
If you're 19 and you're a rock star, that sound technician, he has met bigger bands, better bands, and nicer bands. So you need to be, learn it, ask
respectful.
Respectful, and see it as a learning experience.
Yeah.
You can be super drunk and super diva, but not at the venue. Be at your hotel or wherever you're not bothering anyone, and be on time. And don't lose your passport. Stuff like that.
No, that's stupid.
There are so many stories to be told about, how you shouldn't be on tour. But I mean, everybody learns. But it should never be at the expense of the main of the headliner. They will never ever accept it.
Yeah, we had done, I believe, a couple of big tours, like 16 shows, 3 weeks or something. And on both those occasions, we said that we show ourselves at our very best, and we work hard. We don't drink too much, and we help the main band as much as we just possibly can, just to get a good vibe from it all,
Yep.
And be welcome back.
Didn't you guys do some gigs with Prong?
Yeah, 3 weeks through Europe with Prong. Great experience and real fun. But they have had their youth time, and there were drugs and lots of drinking back in the 90s for those guys, and now they are very, very laid back. So there was almost no drinking policy on the bus. They wanted quiet time and just going from show to show to meet people and play,
Yeah.
And most of the guys that have been around for a while are like that today, and you have to respect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
and I mean,
very important.
It's fun to drink beers and stuff, but be respectful, and also realize that those have been touring for 20, 30 years. They've been having too many beers, so they're done with the beering normally.
Exactly. Yeah.
Didn't your bus driver went to the wrong city with Prong in Poland?
Yeah. I think it was something like that, but I'm not sure. I see that Anders is asking that.
Yeah.
There was something I remember. But,
shit happens. That's not the worst thing that could happen on a tour.
No.
No.
From it.
And a gig at Rocket Sea where I got to crash MMI in their cabin. Yeah, well, that's okay.
That's okay.
That's also a rule. if you're happen to end up backstage, be fucking respectful. People love to have nice people there, but if people tell you to go, don't take it personally. It's their working space. They are working.
Exactly. Yeah.
And some of them are not in the mood for partying. And if you just be a little bit, sensible to that, you'll be fine. Most people are super nice if you're respectful.
You can save up your big drinking to festivals, because at a festival it's more laid back on the whole scene, I think.
Yeah, I think so too, because everybody's just visiting that area for a short while, and but don't crush the headliners sort of loge or like their backstage area. It's if you're invited there, be very mindful. They are working. They've been doing this for so many years, and it's not as cool for them. They're trying to get their shit done. Yeah. That's how it is.
It might sound that we're talking boring stuff, but when you're actually there, it's fun and it can be relaxing being
absolutely.
And it should be, because you're out for 3 weeks, 1 month or something like that, and you have to live with each other, and you have to be cool.
Absolutely. Just be easygoing, and just if somebody says something, listen to that and act accordingly, and you'll be fine. They know also how it is. I mean, they also were young, and everybody started out the same way. So it's and also, I mean, never forget, it's supposed to be fun also for you. But fun is if you do a great performance and people are happy about it, and you can sit afterwards and chill and chat and it's gonna be great. It is great. I mean, it's like
it's worth the money if you save up to it.
Absolutely, but also it's a little bit like when I never did the military service, but people who did the military service, they always have these lovely memories.
Yeah.
And a tour can be, you're pretty happy when you get back home, but 2 months afterwards you realize, fuck, that was pretty fucking good. I want to go again. Yeah. And I want to go again. I really miss it.
Yeah. Me as well.
But Sir Berget, it's been a privilege to have you visiting, and I am delighted that we finally got to speak. I hope we can meet over a few beers or coffee, whatever, in days ahead. I will post some links to your various bands so that people can check it up afterwards. Yeah. But we're gonna end on a cover note, so I'm gonna play the full song that you sent cool. With the Blue Mud Riders, because you said you started it all by finding heavy rock. So I think it's pretty fitting that we finished this stream by you playing drums actually.
And the guitarist and vocalist in this project is my old friend that I started playing with, my first bandmate ever.
That's
back
cool.
In 1982, and can I tell one short story?
We got all the time in the world, sir.
Yeah, I mean, this guy and me, we were born in '68, both of us, and we started hanging out at school around '81, '82, and discovered we had loved the same kind of music, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest and stuff, Motorhead, stuff like that. And then we played for many, many years. I played drums, he played bass, and sometimes guitar. And we wrote our own songs, we played money covers. And in 1983, Metallica came along, and through Motorhead, which he loved and I loved, I found thrash metal through Motorhead and Metallica, the hard stuff. And he loved Motorhead, but he went for the rock and roll in Motorhead. So he went to be a rockabilly star. So Motorhead guided us in 2 different worlds. He went Motorhead rock and roll. I went Motorhead heavy metal, thrash metal, And we stopped playing maybe late 80s and drifted apart because he was way into that rockabilly stuff, Stray Cats, and started playing stand-up bass and stuff.
Yeah, the double bass. Yes.
Yeah, the double bass. And a few years ago, we started hanging out, going to Saxon for nostalgic reasons. And then we thought, hey, shouldn't we play together? And it just, like that, it clicked. It was so fucking awesome. Playing drums with that old Blaze player again. It just clicked. And he's a great guitarist as well. So
It sort of reconnects to why you're doing this in the very. It has something to do with just the joy of playing. I mean, as hippie as that might sound, it's the same whether you play black metal or thrash or rock or jazz or EBM. We just want to move people and move ourselves, especially ourselves.
Exactly.
So I'll put this on, and I hope to be having you back here at some point to visit, and also at some point we should have a coffee or a beer or both.
Yeah, sounds delightful.
Take care, man. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Cheers.